everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Jessica, also known as Chicprofessor on Instagram, and I make videos on luxury goods, the pre-loved market, and workwear. Today's video was requested by Dita at The Style Synonym, and it is to share my pre-loved buying process. That could be very broad, but I am going to basically be talking about how I choose what I want to buy pre-loved, how I set my budget or price point, and basically how I know it's a good buy or it's kind of worth buying pre-loved, and then which sites I use and that sort of thing. So I think that's what I'm going to be talking about, and I will go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is basically how I know what to buy pre-loved. And there's a few different ways that happens. So sometimes I am just searching the pre-loved market. I have certain searches that I save all the time, so I look for a lot of different designers in shoes my size. And also sometimes this happens if you're just shopping in like a thrift store or in a consignment store. I really love consignment shopping. Sometimes you run across something you didn't know existed, and then you see it and you love it and you have to buy it. And so that happens, right? And that happens pre-loved as well. But sometimes I sort of calculate a pre-loved purchase. So in that case, I basically try to do as much shopping in store as I can. And I know a lot of people don't like to shop in store unless they know that they're going to buy something because they feel bad about the sales associate not getting commission and that sort of thing. I only ask to see items that I definitely am interested in seeing, but I also like to go to places like department stores where there's multiple people and multiple things going on, and sometimes I even just tell them I'm really just looking, or this is my first time looking at this item, and I don't really try to get their hopes up that I am going to be buying it. But all that being said, it is part of their job to just show you these items, and it is very helpful to see these items in person. So sometimes if I have my eye on something, I will go and try it on or go and see it in person, make sure my stuff fits inside, if it's a bag, whatever that's going to be. And then if I really love it, I will kind of add it to my pre-loved wish list. I have like a notes app in my phone, and I go through and I say like, this is what I liked and this was the size that it was. And so I know what I am searching for when I go back to my computer later and I am trying to find these items. So to give an example, I am currently looking at a couple different pairs of shoes. I really love the Valentino Rocks City sandals, and I tried them on multiple times, and I've kind of figured out which sizes I like, which colors, which heel height, that sort of thing. Those are going to be really hard to find pre-loved at a good price, but I am just going to keep looking for them. Another instance is going to be the Cloe Lauren heels. which are the scalped heels. I have been looking for those for a really long time. I have found multiple great deals on Chloe flats, and I've bought a few. The flats aren't necessarily for me. I'm going to be making another video about that later on, though I'm still kind of trying different kinds of the flats to see if there is one that I really love. And if I find something at a really great deal, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't work out for me, because it is a smart buy in terms of the resale process. Because I'm a reseller, I am okay with buying things that are just smart buys for resale, even if they don't work out for me. So as Grace from Grace in Her Handbag has told me on multiple occasions, she'll buy any bag for the right price, because why not? Try it out and you might be surprised and you might love it. If it is a smart enough buy that you're going to break even and you know that it's not going to be too hard to sell, then there's not really any harm in buying it and trying it. So another instance of that, right, those are two things that I really like. Another instance is the Stuart Weitzman Simple Sandal. I have the Nearly Nude sandal and I really like that one. And I thought I would want the shorter heel simple sandal, and I was really excited about it, and I've been looking for it for months. I finally went to a Stuart Weitzman store and tried it on, and I didn't like it. It wasn't comfortable on me. I didn't like the ankle strap, and so that is now off my list. But I would have potentially, because I've been looking for it for so long, spent more than I would have liked to on it to just be disappointed. So sometimes trying it on in person, it can make a big difference. I don't live near luxury stores, and so for me, when I'm visiting family or we're on a trip or something, that is when I try to see those things in person, and I know exactly what it is that I want to go in there and see, so I'm not kind of wasting time doing that. So once I determine what it is that I actually am looking for, I will save searches and I will look for certain things. I'll know my size in these items or similar items, and so that helps save time, though again, I'm not opposed to just trying something because I found it for a great deal and seeing just if the sizing works for me or if it's comfortable for me or whatever that is going to be. Part of the resale process is finding something, loving it, and then discovering eventually you don't love it anymore and giving it a new home, and that is a big part of what I do, and just kind of the cycle of luxury, I think, a lot of the time. The hardest thing about buying things pre-loved is the waiting game. Being patient and actually finding something for a price you're willing to spend on it. I am pretty strict about pricing, and I determine pricing based on research. So I look at how much those items typically go for and know that I need to be able to get I need to be able to buy that item for at least 80% of what that's going for. I say that because Poshmark, Tradesy, a lot of things take a 20% fee. So I need to be able to spend at least 20% less on that to break even. And I generally try to make profits on things, so I try to buy it for even less. If it's an item that I'm gonna love and wear into the ground, then that's different, but a lot of times I don't know that that's true. So again, if I've seen something in person and I really love it, I might be willing to spend a little bit more on it pre-loved. But if I'm impatient for it, that's when I'm gonna make bad decisions. And so I try to be smart about continuing to look for sort of that perfect thing. So you may say, what are my pricing? It's kind of hard to determine. I generally say I want it to be less than 20% of retail or 80% off. For clothes, that's usually even more. I'm looking for generally closer to 90, unless it's something like a coat or something that's like gonna last many, many, many years, right? A pair of jeans, I'm not gonna spend that much on, as opposed to a coat, I might. And then there are some things like jeans that I actually think are not really worth buying pre-loved because they don't always last that long, and so I try to buy those at some place like a Nordstrom Rack when they're having a sale, so I'm already getting it at 60-70% off, and it's brand new, and so I can kind of get the most use out of that. So some things like jeans, I've discovered it's better to just do that, but a lot of times it's better to buy it pre-loved. I have a really beautiful wardrobe of things, and I have not spent that much money on them, and so it, you know, comparatively to what a lot of people spend in the luxury community, and so I think it's really wonderful to buy things pre-loved, and sometimes the hunt is the fun part of the game. The first bag I ever fell in love with was the Luxe Tote by Prada. It took me at least 2 years to find it, and it was just so exciting when I finally did, and I got exactly what I wanted basically, and I got a great deal on it. So I felt really happy about the money that I spent on it, and it was just that thrill of the chase basically to find it. So setting a budget and being smart and patient and waiting for that item is one of the smartest things to do. Once you have some items that you love, that's easier to do, but when you're first starting out and you just kind of want everything, then that can be a little bit more difficult. The third thing I do is figure out where is going to be the smartest place to buy this. So sometimes places like The Real, Fashion File, Yugi's Closet, Bag Bar, and Steal, those are the smarter places to buy things. Most of the time I buy almost everything off of eBay. I buy a lot of things off of Poshmark and Tradesy as well, but most of the time I'm going to get a lower price on eBay. I have certain sellers that I love, and I look for special coupons in order to save even more money. If you're curious about my buying process and comparing Poshmark, Tradesy, and eBay, I have the collaborations that I did with Grace and her handbag, that one's on buying and one's on selling, and I will link at least the buying one down below. So I guess the next part in my pre-loved buying experience is actually getting the item. So once the item has come in the mail, I examine it, I look it over. A lot of times there are like surface damage, like some like dirt or scratches or something that I can polish up. I recently did a Dior video where I showed like a DIY how to kind of add structure back into your bags. Sometimes a bag insert will do that. There's lots of little things you can do to sometimes make something extend the life of it, let's say, or make it more of what you want it to be. You can get things dyed, shoes, bags, that sort of thing. In belts, you can add an extra loop, right? If that's something that you need, you can get clothing tailored so that it's perfect for you. All of those things, of course, have a cost that you need to add in to what it is you're doing, but sometimes buying things and fixing them up costs significantly less than waiting for one in good condition to come to the pre-loved market. So definitely that is something to keep in mind as well. But I get it, I determine if I'm gonna like it, and basically will it make it into my closet. So it starts in my resale closet, I try it on. If it doesn't fit, or I don't love it, or I don't like the color, or whatever happens in real life, I just sell it, unless there's something wrong with it that wasn't described, and then I return it. But I just sell it, and then if it does make it into my closet, I kind of keep a special section of these are things that are new, and I try to wear it and try it out, and then determine if I loved it and I loved the way it looked on me and it fit me well and whatever, then I keep it, and if not, then it goes back down into the resale pile. So I'm not really sure what else to talk about. I think that pretty much answers everything, but if anyone has any questions, please do leave them down below. Thank you to Dita for inspiring this video, and I'm curious to know if you buy things pre-loved, what's your process? Does any of it differ than mine, or if you don't buy things pre-loved, how is your process, right? What does your shopping process look like? How do you select what is going to be perfect for you? Sometimes I find that I have a need in my closet and I need to fill that, and sometimes I just have a want, right? I have something that I really want and there's just something that draws me to it and I love it, which I think is the case for most of us when it comes to shopping. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe, and I will see you in a future video. Bye!